Guilt is a crippling feeling. It is a sense of shame that reminds you endlessly of your own failure. Guilt is such a powerful emotion that it can drive even the most sane person into doing heinous actions you wouldn't think they were even capable of. Without a judge or even an accuser, this nagging feeling erodes the human mind until there is nothing left but darkness. Yet instead of giving up, this guilt-ridden person trudges through their long days and nights with an undying sense of duty to the fallen, giving up everything they knew and loved just to alleviate this torturous sense of guilt. And there is nothing in this story that better represents this theme than Khaenri'ah. Archons feel guilty, sinners feel guilty, Dainsley feels guilty, and most importantly, our sibling feels guilty. But up until now, we didn't truly understand why this was. But sure, we knew that they were trusted by King Ermin and saw Khaenri'ah as their home, but I'm not talking about the guilt of failing to defend your home. This is something far more dark than that. Because in the most recent lore drop, we learned that the heavenly principles originate from our ship. And in this video, it is my goal to fully expound on what this means. And fair warning, it's not looking good for either of the Traveler siblings. Because this is the two sides of the Teyvat War explained. Okay, so before we get into why our protagonist siblings have some major explaining to do, let's talk about the Heavenly Principles situation. Now, we are well aware that the first Ascender, the Heavenly Principles, came to this world named Teyvat and immediately began terraforming it, created the Four Shades, fought and killed Nibelung, and sent down the Sky Nails to stop the Abyss. And as the outfit lore states, reshaping terrain, adjusting the air, rebuilding an ecosystem, those were simple tasks for a pioneer vessel meant to bear the spark of civilization. And it also says that it was looking for a world with potential. So this is pretty clear that our ship's consciousness, or as many are calling it, its AI, is the Heavenly Principles. The Heavenly Principles is our ship's AI that serves us hand and foot. Especially if you read into the details here, this AI dotes on these two. And since the spaceship's flight logs have a single stop in Teyvat listed here a long time ago, we know that we've been here before. And personally, I disagree with the Traveler's hypothesis saying that the sibling got off the ship during that time, because the Heavenly Principles were active long before the sibling woke up for the first time, and according to the Diridit story, we were on the planet at the same time as the sibling the entire time. They just forgot about us. But when she showed them the hibernation chamber key, they went back for us instead of defending Khaenri'ah during the Cataclysm. Where she got the key from and Ishtaroth's intervention that's irrelevant. That only affects the key, not the ship itself. So point is, the ship was there the whole time and so were we. And this is where the beginning of the game cutscene comes in, where we are flying out of Teyvat and Asmodee stops us. Why we don't take the ship, I will never know, but that's a rant for another day. Point is, we now have an entirely new view of what is going on here. Because with the knowledge of the fact that the Heavenly Principles is our ship's AI that created humanity, the ecosystem, and shades of Teyvat, this seems pretty awkward now, isn't it? This seems pretty much the AI saying, hey, please don't go. I remade this whole world for you. Just go back to sleep so I can clean things up for you.
Suffer, Khaenri'ahs, suffer!
But the only strange thing here is that you would think that considering Asmodee is a creation of the Heavenly Principles and was sent here by it, she would know that she is talking to her masters. Not that she is violent or anything, but calling us Outworlders seems so unfamiliar. And unlike something you would think an AI that is so gentle and doting that it remade our clothes just to give itself peace of mind would do. My point being, she could have handled this better, and she is terrible at communicating. But anyway, we go sleepy time, sibling wakes up first again and runs around the world with Dain until the Kari Bear incident happens. And it is here that the sibling would for the first time feel the full brunt of guilt. because up until this point, they probably haven't seen what the curse really does. I mean, we see Hilichurls, but that's a hard correlation to make, and Dane looks perfectly fine, and we know well enough already that this guy does not tell anyone anything. So Kari Bear was most likely the first time the sibling came in contact with what the horrors of the Curse of Immortality really is. And the shock and awe, combined with the memories that probably flooded back from being referred to as the prince or princess by Clothar, was overwhelming, because in this moment they realized that they were the heir to King Ermin's throne. They were the crowned prince or princess of Conria. That was their home, and they abandoned everyone. People like Diridith looked to them with hope in their eyes, calling them savior, but they didn't save anything. In their time of need, under the onslaught of the heavenly principles and multiple archons, they ran away. So feeling betrayed by Dainsleif, who, let's be honest, probably still did not tell them anything by this point, left them to join the Abyss Order with the single goal of resurrecting the homeland. And as the sibling led the Abyss Order, more time passed and their memories returned. They remembered their still asleep twin. They remembered what the heavenly principles truly were, and they realized something far worse than they could have ever imagined. Not only did they abandon Conria during the Cataclysm, but they were the direct cause of the Cataclysm. The heavenly principles belonged to them. Every person was created from their ship's genetic vaults. This world and everyone in it is their responsibility. So they can't just leave again. They have to fix it. The Cataclysm was the product of the Conrians' experimentation with the Abyss, with the sibling being the vessel of its power. The sinners were a product of the siblings' Abyss power being stolen, and instead of dealing with these problems like the heir they are, they betrayed the people's trust and left. A mistake they do not intend on making again. So when faced with the person they care the most about in the world, their guilt simply won't allow them to leave this world behind. They have to fix their home. They now know that not only was their own ship's AI responsible for mass apocalyptic events and stole this world from the dragon race, but it also cursed their beloved citizens with a fate worse than death. And even though it was excruciatingly painful to leave the traveler sibling behind, they know that when we have walked the same path they have already treaded, we will come to the same conclusion. And now we know it all. We've seen the ship, we've seen the Skynails, we've seen what the Hilichurls really are, and now we know what the heavenly principles really are. We've been fighting ourselves this entire time, defying the heavenly principles, becoming heroes in different lands, and forging bonds just like our sibling did, all for the heavenly principles to one day reawaken and send it all crumbling down and put a curse on everyone we hold dear. And then we will be left with a choice, and our sibling knows for a fact that we will choose to fight, just like they did. And this is the moment that our sibling hopes will come to pass as we join the Abyss Order to rebel against our own servant AI's laws, defending all who place their trust in us, fighting side by side once again, righting all of our wrongs. Because if we don't, we're the villains. I'm sorry, but we don't have the moral high ground here. We are responsible for our ship's actions. We have to make sure that the people spawned from our genetic vault don't end up cursed to wander the lands as Hilichurls and cursed spirits, eternally suffering because we couldn't save them. Because if you think about it, we are on both sides of this fight. Our ship's consciousness is working on our behalf and only cares for our safety. It is on our side, but we have to stop it because it hurts the people we care about and are responsible for. So in the end, it all comes down to one thing: guilt. We couldn't save the dragon race that got utterly annihilated, even though that is their home, not ours. Our ship just stole it from them, making us colonizers, but we can still do the right thing for all that is left. Because at the end of the day, this world was made for us. We alone have the body constitution perfectly suited to this world, not being denied at all and able to draw power from all three realms. So when it really comes down to it, it's us versus ourselves. And I think this is a sick twist. For some reason, some of you thought I hated this. That's not what I meant at all. It's just a hard pill to swallow, but I love this because it means we are the root of every conflict in Teyvat, including the Cataclysm. In my personal opinion, I 100% think that we, the Traveler and the Sibling, should be held responsible for our colonizing ship's AI, because that is what it is, and that is what it did. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. But no, the dragons were bad! Yeah, but it was their world to be bad on. We don't just have this divine right to just step in and change everything just because we can. And I'm not a Nibelung defender, but something about this story about this dragon dude, it doesn't sit well with me. If Nibelung brought the Abyss to Teyvat, why is it that we are immune to it and not him? Is he stupid? Was he desperate? Is this our fault? Partially. Imagine you leave your house and come back to it completely unrecognizable with someone else living in it, with your kids inside telling you to get out. You're gonna crash out, fight for what is yours, and some people would opt to blow up the house instead of letting the person who stole it from you just live there. That's a justified crash out if you ask me. Maybe I'm crazy, or maybe we've been gaslit again, because I don't trust the heavenly principles. I'll be 100% open about that. I don't trust the heavenly principles, I don't trust Irminsul, and I don't trust the subjective stories we've heard about Nibelung. We've been told the heavenly principles created humans. Why are the Moon Sisters human then? We've been told about the Descenders. Why wasn't Dottore a Descender then if Rarier was? We know they can be from Teyvat and still a Descender, so why wasn't Dottore considered a Descender? This guy was trying to burn Irminsul. And as for Nibelung, yeah, he put the Moon Sisters in timeout because he is their dad and they did misbehave in not doing the one thing he told them to do. But one, they were safe, and two, he died before he can take them out of timeout, so we don't know if he ever had the intention of imprisoning them forever. There is just so much we don't know, and I for one feel like this community is demonizing one side without properly casting doubt on the side that has a history of gaslighting us and has already gaslit the entire world. History is written by the victors, and the laws are governed by the heavenly principles that are far from good. It is a hard pill to swallow, but the reality is that there are no good guys here, and we are all doing terrible things. And at the end of the day, we are the heavenly principles and the Abyss Order, and everyone else is suffering because of our war with ourselves. Because this is the two sides of the Teyvat War explained. At long last, things are heating up in the world of Teyvat. And once the heavenly principles wake up, someone will be right and someone will be wrong. And I think we are gonna have a Cataclysm Part 2 on our hands because we are doing so many things that fly in the face of the Teyvat laws. And let's be honest, Egeria, the first Hydro Archon of Fontaine, was cursed for less. Oh look, someone else who made humans. Look like the heavenly principles aren't so special after all, and cursed her for so much as making people without permission. But now a dragon sovereign made them full-fledged humans? Something isn't right, guys. I don't trust them. Celestia lies. A Hydro Archon promoted by Celestia couldn't make completed humans, but a dragon sovereign could? Something ain't right, but I just can't prove it yet. What do you guys think? Be sure to let me know, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace, y'all.